specifics about some of the curriculum with the education program, but I would love for you to talk a little bit about how it sort of came to be, because from my perspective, I've taught in New York City Public Schools for 6 years, several of those as full-on classroom teacher before I was substituting, and now I'm doing this. And what amazes and what I'm so proud of is that for many, many months, there were teachers coming up to me, what are you guys gonna do? Like, you have to get kids, what are you gonna do? And now it's like, oh yeah, that's exactly what you should do. That's like, what we're doing is like, that's exactly how it should work. So how did that, what were those conversations like, and how did that all come together?
Well, I think, it stems again from YouTube, and it stems from you guys. It's everyone who sees this show or hears this show goes, how are you gonna get kids to see the show? Like, that's the first question out of everyone's mouth. You have to get kids to see the show. You have to get kids to see the show. And so we knew that off Broadway, and then we began planning this and looking for partners. At the same time we were making the Broadway production, while Tommy and you and I were working out, let's make the best show possible. Jeffrey and my father was partnering with the Rockefeller Foundation and Gilder Lehrman and finding the right partners who could really make this happen in a real way. And one of the sort of best things the Rockefeller said to us was, we'll pay for all of it on the condition we don't have to work with anybody else, we just pay for it. Which is great. It's less cooks in the kitchen. And so they footed the bill. Gilder Lehrman wrote the curriculum. It was a very easy sort of division of labor. We kind of came at this from the perspective of, this is not us feeding you Hamilton's life story, because you're not going to get Hamilton's life story in 2 hours and 45 minutes. I know I couldn't get it. I know what I left out, because I read all of it. I read all those Federalist Papers. I know Ben Franklin was important. I didn't have room for him. It's too much other stuff. And so to think of Hamilton as a jumping off point for, if we start from the premise that these founders were human, and what we're trying to uncover is as much humanity as we can in 2 hours and 45 minutes. What does that mean about the rest of your history textbook? And so the kids prepare pieces that they've written, and it can be about anyone in American history. And so we get everything from songs from Mariah Reynolds' perspective, and these kids perform this on stage for us at the Rogers. They perform it for each other. We get songs. We had one girl who was like, well, Hamilton's from the Caribbean, so I wrote like a reggaeton tune, and it's the best. If you haven't listened to the NPR actually recorded all of their pieces and put them up online. Look it up. Hamilton is the man, oh man, Hamilton is the man. Like, I still sing their songs in my head. We had one poem from one of Thomas Jefferson's sons via Sally Hemings, saying, this founding father didn't want to acknowledge he was my father. So it's the beginning of a discussion that's very exciting. It's not, we spoon feed you a musical and you've learned history. It's, this musical unlocks that history is written by the victors, and so what does that mean for history, and what does that mean in your mind?